Wow, that's right. We are seeing the market booming yet again. Today's been a great day for crypto markets. A lot of green across the board. This just tells you that we need to see a little bit of a retracement before we move towards the upside. But if you watch my last night update, we specifically talked about how I could see this specific move playing out. If you watch that, I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm referring to. You're looking at meme coins gaining a lot of traction. Bonk up 31.6%, SPX 19, Floki up 35%. We're seeing a lot of excitement coming into the market yet again. And there's obviously some things to keep in mind, but XRP, this is the XRP update, up 6.3%, with the price currently sitting at $3.06, up 3.6% in Bitcoin comparative. And look at the valuation, 180.8 billion, almost at $181 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at $7.3 billion. Absolute madness. And the next few hours, I know I say this quite a bit, but every single time I do mention this, there is quite an important thing to note that could happen in the next few hours. And as we know, we haven't seen the daily candle close happen right now. But if we're able to see the daily candle close happening where we are right now, I'm projecting some good things. We're going to get into that a little bit more. Before we get into it any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So, Arthur Hayes has said it's time for Ethereum season. And when Ethereum season starts, you do tend to see altcoins following. And that's exactly what we're seeing happening right now. And this is why, even in all my XRP updates, if you've been following the track record, you guys know I've been talking about, let's pay attention to the Ethereum inflows. Ethereum inflows tells us something that, not a lot of people pay attention to. And that's exactly, what we were seeing happening, and it's all starting to make sense. But I can also say it's time for XRP season, because once XRP breaks towards all-time highs for the first time in 8 years, this is going to send shockwaves around the crypto globe, in my opinion. 7-8 years since the last time the price of XRP was its all-time high, so that tells you everything you need to know. But look at this. One breaking news was that the U.S. House has officially passed the Bitcoin and crypto legislation in our revote on the motion. Huge deal for the crypto industry, of course. And as we discussed literally yesterday, that this was inevitable. It was bound to happen regardless. But look at we're back at it for XRP. Don't underestimate the US passing law. These numbers are rookie numbers, and I totally agree with that. You are seeing inflows coming in for XRP, but this is nothing in my opinion as well. And I totally agree with Chad. And as the price starts reaching some of the higher time frames, you are going to see this number increasing quite a bit. What we have seen about 4 or 5 days ago, I'm sure everyone knows about that. But on that note, Ripple has been named for the 3rd year in a row as one of the CNBC's world top fintech companies. And right now, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, it makes sense that they're the top fintech company, because of course, as regulatory clarity is coming towards crypto industry, people are really starting to look deep into XRP and understanding the use case behind it, how it has that real world use case, and starting to put the puzzle pieces together. Right now, it's clear, when the price of the native token is going up, everyone is excited. Everyone is the biggest moon boy. But most people ignore this when the price is stagnant, there's not a lot of interest. And go backtrack, even this year alone, when the price of XRP was consolidating quite nicely in the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, still there were so many negative comments coming in and, neglecting what Ripple has been building. And even though the price was not looking as bad as a lot of people think, people overlook this. And of course, no secret, if you go 2 years back or even a year back, the price of XRP was far lower than where it is right now. Regulatory clarity was far lower than where it is now. And that really tells you the people that were accumulating time in, time out, dollar cost averaging in while there was so much FUD are the real winners, in my opinion. I've said that from the beginning, and I'll say it till the end, of course. So shout out to, the XRP holders that have been accumulating no matter what. So Citibank, with $2 trillion in assets, has announced plans to provide crypto on and off ramp services. So Citibank is also coming on board now. Again, remember, TradeFi and crypto come in together. Banks getting that green light from the regulators. You can see this happening. Another example of many examples that I have shared with you guys on the past in my updates. So you can see, shout out to Smoke. New ISO 20022 terminology from the United States Senate Federal Credit Union. As ISO 20022 takes effect, some of the terminology used in wire transfers will be updated. For example, the familiar term routing number will now be referred to as agent ID in ISO 20022 based US wire transfers. And remember, XRP, the native token, is not ISO compliant, but the RippleNet is. So now banks, if they want to use RippleNet, guess what? XRP plays a key role in the RippleNet tech itself. So that's something I want you guys to keep in mind. But look at this. Remember, the Genius Act will rapidly accelerate XRP's reintegration into the U.S. financial markets, which will support its price by attracting institutional investors. And we're already starting to see that happening. Yesterday, last night, I shared with you guys how another company is coming on board to, actually create an XRP reserve. And I think this is going to become our norm. A lot of good things happening, pretty much time in, time out now. And that pretty much sums it up. But now let's take a look at the price. So if you're looking at the dominance index here, so of course we came down to 63% just a few hours ago. It's continuing to pull down, exactly what you want to see happening. And your boy Crypto ZX has called this perfectly. And the fact that the price of Bitcoin has reclaimed back above 120,000. Watch my update last night if you did not. I literally spoke about how we could reclaim $120,000, with this move that we're seeing. That's exactly where we came up to, $120,000, seeing a little bit of a rejection. But the fact that the price of Bitcoin is moving up, yet you're seeing dominance continuing to fall, show weakness, pretty much still opens the door for us to retest May levels. And this is going to push altcoins even higher. So a lot of excitement right now within the crypto space, but let's take a look at what's happening with XRP's price right now, and of course what are some of the targets and why the next few hours are critical for the price of XRP. So look at this for yourself. Just look at this for yourself. I drew this trend line for you guys yesterday. This was just a line that I drew, and you can see how we got rejected here on July 14th, came down, consolidated quite nicely, and we have finally seen that breakout, and we retested $3.10. Yes, you've heard that correct. $3.10. We're pretty much now going to start heading towards our yearly highs that we set for ourselves this year, and then on to all-time highs. I'm going to update this chart. I'm using the Kraken chart. I will, I think pull out Bitfinex chart maybe to, kind of look at the real, actual all-time high 386. But anyhow, you can see this for yourself. Not much resistance, guys. I anticipated that, we will see a new all-time high even this week. And you can see this for yourself. We have broken out of the key range. We're pretty much open to get to that level. It's only a 9.39% move. And after that, price discovery mode. And, what's really exciting here is that the dominance is still at 63%. So imagine if dominance pulls down to the likes of 54%, what could happen for XRP's price and ETF and all that. A lot of excitement. Shout out to the XRP holders. You guys deserve it. Don't forget to lock those profits in. But I'm sure a lot of people now wish they could go back in the 38.2 zone. I'm sure there's a lot of comments, and I did see a little bit of comments coming in saying, "Yo, I wish I was accumulating in that range." Since then, the price has gone up more than 50%. Absolutely madness. Third largest asset in the crypto space. Shout out to you guys for tuning in on a regular day-to-day basis. I'll bring you guys these updates every single day. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Next few hours, very critical. Keep an eye out on the daily close. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.